Welcome to the Middle Class Holes, where three friends discuss their lives, both past and present, current news stories, and whatever else just comes to mind. But they do so with a middle class asshole twang. On tonight's show, Murr, middle-aged father of one and former radio disc jockey, but now an happily employed postal service worker. Alan, a life and safety salesman aficionado who never holds his tongue when it comes to sharing his opinion. And Wes, just your good old-fashioned happy-go-lucky white neighbor next door named Jim, but his name is Wes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Middle Class Holes.
Getting old, boys. I'm getting old. I'm cutting the nuts. I'm getting neutered. I got the vasectomy all scheduled up for the 20th. And by the way, Wes, took some advice. That's the second day of the NCAA tournament. So when I get home and I go to set the big old bag of frozen peas on my frozen peas, I'm gonna just sit back in the bed and just watch some hoops all day and lose all my money, what's left over from it. And I'm kind of sad because they ask you if you're, it's quote unquote reversible, but they're like, you're done. It's like, yeah, I guess we are. I guess the breeding is over for me, and this is it. This is now my life. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's taking a little bit of venom out of the snake? Do you feel a little less manly, or?
You know what? I mean, a little bit. I mean, on the way in, it feels that way, but I'm feeling like after the procedure, I'm gonna have this newfound, at least in the short term, like I'm gonna want to test it. Like, oh, I'll show you it doesn't work. Let's see. We gotta get some rounds off, man. You got to put some shots on target here. Okay, we gotta see if this puppy actually sticks. And then if it doesn't, I'm fucked, right? For the next, 18 years. I mean, I'm already, down to, I'm saying William will maybe be out of here by the time he's, 20-ish. So, I'm already on a decade timeline. Like, the first 10's over. The next 10's in front of me. If something, God forbid, goes awry with this little snip in here, I got another 18 under my belt, and I'm fucked.
How are you fucked?
Risky game.
Well, because I'll be, if that was the case, I would be 47 when this next child would be born.
Oh, okay.
You're talking I'm already feeling like old dad. I mean, I don't want to be elderly dad.
You're talking like my timeline.
Be old as shit.
Yeah, yeah, Wes. So if you're planning on putting some shots on target, you better get started now, dude.
Yeah, I've had some kind of panicky moments while taking a piss in the middle of the night, which I do now. Regularly, about being a 60-year-old at middle school, picking my kid up from middle school, or going in where being a chaperone in a field trip where there are other parents amongst them. And they're like, oh, is this your great uncle? Is this your grandfather? Like, no, I'm his fucking dad, asshole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. How about that?
Hold on, let me stretch first.
Yeah, right.
Right, there we are. Okay. Yeah, because
rules are we only fight for 30 seconds, okay? After that,
I told you
no one wins as a draw.
I tell you guys I went to the dad or the parent child jujitsu class. Did I tell you guys that?
No.
Yeah. So I did.
Awesome.
It was fun. They set up a bunch of little obstacle course things, relay races and stuff like that. And one of them was they told the parents, you don't have to do this. It'll be faster if you do, but you guys can run up to the pads, do a pirouette, and then run around the pads and keep going. Or you can do a suicide dive over top of everything. I was like, suicide dive? What are we talking about
dive, yeah, right.
A fucking jump. It's only about a 3-foot jump. 3-foot jump, go over, fucking land perfectly on the back of my neck, do a fucking roll, come up to my heels, bam, awesome. Feel like the most badass parent in the group. The next day, it felt like somebody took a ball-peen hammer to every fucking vertebrate in my goddamn back. I'm like, I can't do this stuff anymore. What has happened to me? You're virile in the moment. You're a Toby Keith song. You're as good once as you ever was. But goddamn, that's it.
I had a moment like that. So while you were like, yeah, I'm going to do the somersault, which you did, I had to take the MARC train down to DC for work. I used to take the MARC train to the stop before DC, New Carrollton, every day. And there's the way the parking lots are structured, they want to funnel you into an area where the entrance pads are for when the train stops. But there is a small, iron or not steel, but two sectioned iron fence. It's about waist high. I used to jump that bit. I started working there in 2018, 7 years ago. I used to jump that bitch regularly. I had a backpack on. I was like, what? Damn, man, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go the long way. Took the long way around, walked around it, pussed out. Didn't even want to climb over it. Anyway. Oh, what I was going to ask you. So what you said you got your second were both pieces of advice to get it done for March Madness? That way you had nothing to do?
Well, I don't know if there were two pieces of advice. If there are, too old to remember the first one. But no, one of them was like, most people schedule these right around the middle to the end of March, like right around, and it was like right around the tournament, because you're going to be pretty much laid up for like a week, so you might as well have like some baller entertainment going on in front of you.
Sure, yeah.
I've always heard that, or the Masters. If you're a golf guy, because just all
8
day
straight
coverage.
hours of golf coverage.
Yeah, just fucking. You have to change channels now. They have those those fucking like dynamic channels where they just follow groups at different holes and shit. You're just like, this is amazing.
It's like
good
feature
shit.
group, Amen Corner. I think they do a 16, the par 3, and then maybe one other. Yeah. Oh, it's lovely. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to nothing.
This is from someone who hasn't gotten a vasectomy, but someone who one of our best friends did. We went to a Ravens. What was it? It was a playoff game, I think. He was wearing like a man G-string because he said his nuts had to be pretty much cupped and stabilized in a particular position. And he said around the 6th day, he decided to, give it some self-relief and said it was quite bloody.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that. I think the first one I'm gonna go blind. I'm just gonna like let it happen. Keep the eyes closed. Just blast off. Good news. The lady
nut in your backyard and walk away.
I'm gonna put a red Solo cup over top of it and just let it lay on my back and just let it go, and then close my eyes to the bathroom and just let it just wash everything up. But the lady at the desk,
a piping hot shower waiting for him.
Well,
God,
if I don't use the red Solo cup, there's gonna be a piping hot shower before then.
Oh Jesus.
The lady at the desk, and this is the best part about like the whole balls thing. Like, everybody knows what you're there for. Everybody knows it's funny. Everybody knows it's embarrassing. She slides this sheet of paper across in front of me. She's like, this is $150. It's optional. You don't have to get it. It's a at-home test kit, so to figure out if the procedure worked, because you won't know for a week or two if everything's on the right path. I was like, what if I don't buy this? She's like, well, then you get to sit inside a Quest Diagnostic waiting room with a brown couch and a cup of your own. I was like, oh. She's like, yeah, we recommend just spending the $150. I was like, that's a good idea. Thanks.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like a at-home COVID kit. You put a little bit into a thing, and you let it sit for 15 minutes. Wait for the red lines. All right.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. At-home science kit on the experiment.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a microscope. You can see the swimmers, but they're like just a little disoriented.
Yeah. I bet the ones that survive are like just a little off.
Sure.
Half a tail.
Wait, it's not. Wait, hold on. That's it removes the. It doesn't. You can ejaculate. There's just no.
Yeah. There's no mixing. So we'll call your ejaculate an epoxy. So there's no. The swimmers aren't getting let into the stream. So there's still. They even said there's still. He's like, look, everything's fine. It's just those little guys aren't making it to the starting line.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Because I was like, what about this? What about like what little testosterone I have left? Am I damaging that? And it's like, nah, dude. And best part too, Indian guy about my age, teeny accent, very well dressed, fucking button down shirt, fucking perfect fucking hair, just a handsome motherfucker. Obviously making plenty of money. I went with the guy who had he's in Bel Air, okay? I didn't go with Harvard Grace. I went with a town where...
He went to the big city.
I went to the big city.
Bel Air.
That's right.
I went to Bel Air. I went to the place where people who don't live in the big city live in Maryland, at least, okay? Like north of the Virginia, Alexandria area. Because I was just like, look, the guy's got to be successful to have a practice in this area. So let's go to that guy. Went to that guy, and he was just like, look, man, every male doctor that works in this office has had one. We've actually all done it to each other. It was weird. You're going to be fine.
That was weird.
Yeah, then he's like, all right, moment we've all been waiting for. He's like, drop him. I was like, God damn it, this is not what I wanted to do with my day. He's like, guess what, buddy? Me neither. And then he goes, I saw you wince when I was rolling around there. I was like, yeah, a little bit of pressure, man. He's like, tell you what, do you like taking the edge off? I was like, I love nothing more than taking the edge off. He's like, put some nitrous on you, okay? I'll throttle it up. You can have as much as you want. So just don't be moving around on me. It's like, you got it, boss. So I'm looking forward to fucking nitrous time, man. Get a little space gas going.
There you go. Not bad at all.
Space gas burr. That's what we're going to call you for the next year. Just to make sure you don't get any other weird nicknames, like that we could conjure up right now that you told us this. But I remember you were batting the idea.
Vasectomy's in the dentist.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You just have to do a 2-for-1, Fill a cavity and get your nuts clipped. Same time. Get the dentist in there. Middle class everyone. Mer Allen and Foxman. You've worn that Savannah Bananas hat, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. I was looking at the hats up on the fucking racks, and I was like, what's it gonna be this evening? So that's what it is.
Are they gonna overexpose themselves, or are they like right on path to where they need to be?
I don't know. For what? I guess what's the end game? Because like there's two different forms of bananas, right? There's like a legitimate competitive bananas team, and then there's like the gimmicky fucking like goofball like sideshow circus shit that they do. Like they actually play in like some fucking league down south.
Yeah, but I thought the league they played in down south was like still a part of like their gimmicky bullshit.
Oh, they have a gimmicky league too. Yeah, it's not just the traveling. Like the traveling's like, I believe, like off season and in between. Like if there's breaks and shit. But like the last time I had read, maybe they have changed course and fucking devoted all of their resources to fucking, just circus shit. But they used to have a competitive team that I forget what the league is. I'm trying to find it real quick. But I can't apparently spell Savannah and bananas at the same time.
I would just hope if this is what they're going to do, I would hope they would just do like, try to hit all the Major League Baseball stadiums and then like a 5-year break. And they're like, banana, it's, because I feel like if they try to do it like Harlem Globetrotter style, because I'm getting ads right now for Harlem Globetrotters. They're going to be in Baltimore, guys, by the way, if you're looking for some tickets.
Can't wait for that fake
nice
fake can of water with a graffiti. It's always a hoot.
And that's what I mean. At one time, it was, I know we've talked about the Globetrotters before, but at one time, it was like wrestling. Like, oh my God, these guys are spectacular. They're like acrobats with basketball. And then it turned into the sideshow. And I'm afraid that bananas are going to go full sideshow.
They may have already.
Yeah.
With a 5-year break, how are you going to practice stilts and choreographed pictures?
Well, like Alan's saying, like you have your little league down, I'm assuming in Savannah, Georgia, and you do it there. Like they've been doing like the same way they built themselves up over time.
You don't do the tour every year. You save the tours. So, okay.
I don't know why it took me so long to find this. Fucking in 2022. They left the Coastal Plain League just to play banana ball, as they call it, year round.
Yeah.
So they no longer play competitive baseball.
Yeah, because that guy...
They did at one point.
Because that guy's done a couple documentaries now about how he acquired the team. They couldn't put anybody in the seats, and then they started doing some kooky shit, and they're like, people take baseball way too seriously. And then they started let's just do banana ball. And that's where we are now. Now they're coming to fucking Major League Baseball stadiums. And I'm good. I mean, I'd like to go see a banana game at Camden Yards. That'd be cool. I think they should do all the ballparks. But then, like I said, like take a break, come up with a new stage show, and then put it on tour again, like in a few more years. But I think if they do it too much, everybody's going to, okay, I'm banana balled out. I can't.
I'm already kind of banana balled out, actually. I just think this hat's cool.
It is cool hat.
Yeah, they're cool. They have cool shit. They have good marketing. It's the world we live in.
See, I think they should do a cross promotion with Ringling Brothers. Get a couple elephants out in the field, a couple,
don't do that anymore,
tigers.
man.
I think they should make them play competitive baseball game, like exhibition games against Major League, and not even like the B team, like the guys that get nothing. You could bring some fucking youngsters up, throw them at them, and just let them get their heads pounded in real baseball.
You're saying that, so not the Dodgers, but like the Dodgers AAA team?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You could go AAA if you wanted to.
Yeah, but isn't that what they do? Isn't that kind of their thing? I thought they did do that. Like the other teams, not they're in on the joke, but they're trying to play. They just have to play by their rules, and then I think that's how they do it.
I mean, no, I think there are now established other teams. You know what I mean? Like other fucking banana ball fucking teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're established because I do remember I think originally, because even like you were saying, the whole plan was to be just goofy, because the team's rival was mostly comprised of guys that were also on the Bananas team. They would rotate in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're called the party animals, naturally. So you know what I mean? So I don't know. Good for them, I guess, like you said. But
yeah, I mean, look, the guy figured out how to make money. I put that guy in the same category as the competitive eating guy. He figured out this niche market he could create his own league out of and make
fighting.
Money.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Dude, slap. Do you guys actually? I can't watch more than one video of slap fighting. It's the most.
Oh, no, I can watch a million videos of slap fighting.
Really?
Yeah.
It is awful.
I have a quota of maybe one or two a day. There's just so much of that fucking powdered sugar that gets smacked into oblivion on the side of a man's face, and then they just look like they got hit by a dump truck in a Warner Brothers cartoon.
It's incredible how fast the face swells.
Yeah, and it's also incredible how sturdy these guys can make themselves when they are obviously fucking unconscious with fucking eyelids open. It's just you all right? Mm-hmm.
You all right? Savannah Bananas. Yeah, okay, he's okay. He's all right. Yeah.
He's standing.
Middle class souls, everyone, Morale and Fox, man. We got a good friend or foe for you coming from the I guess it's the Big Apple. And bodegas are more than just selling marijuana to Thurgood Jenkins and Half Baked. They're now slanging some other things that you might be interested in. That's the first time I ever heard of bodega. I've been waiting all week to say that.
100%.
Bodega. Say it with me now.
No, 100%. Half Baked was the first time. I got to remember, there was no internet, kids. So when we found out about things, it was in a television show or a movie, and Dave Chappelle introduced white American kids from outside of the New York City culture to what fucking bodegas are. And they're very clever, and I think their cleverness, it's the subject of tonight's Friend or Foe. Let's get to it. Gonna read a news story to you, see if you agree or disagree. You may have heard of bodegas selling Loosies, which are single cigarettes. But because of the high cost of eggs across the country, some are now selling eggs outside the carton. Ramondes Rodriguez, owner of Pamela's Green Deli in Bronx's Morisana section, said the idea of selling loose eggs came to him after seeing customers leave full cartons on the counter because they couldn't afford them. Hoping to help customers in the community, Rodriguez now sells 3 eggs for $2.99, which he says is better than paying $12 for the whole carton. Quote, if you have $20 and you want to make breakfast for 2 or 3 people and you're already spending $12 on one item, how you going to buy the bread, the milk, the butter, all the stuff, Rodriguez said. They go on to say that although 3 eggs is a far cry from a dozen, bodega owners said that the makeshift way of selling is helping the community out. So friend or foe, should items be allowed to be sold Loosie style, one at a time? Maybe you don't want the whole 6-pack. You just want one beer. Let me get a Loosie. Let me get a Loosie light, okay? Let me get one of them. What do you say, friend or foe? Loosie's, friend, no Loosie's, foe. Alan, start with you.
I mean, I'm a friend, especially because you were single beers, and I was like, I like that, actually. That's a good idea. And there's some places, some dives that'll do that. So, yeah, I mean, fuck it. Eggs are expensive, man. If you can't, maybe you want an omelet, but you ain't got fucking money to make an omelet next week and shit. You just wanted one right now. Boom, 3 eggs. You're definitely probably not supposed to. Most everything that comes in packs has a label that's like, don't sell these individually. That's not how this works. But bodegas do anything they want. So fuck it. Single cigarettes, 3 eggs at a time, whatever. I'm cool with it.
Wes, I'm gonna kind of put a little narrower gap on this for you. Should everything? Is there other limits to Loosie's? Or are we full bore Loosie? I mean, are you with Alan's? No regulations. Loosie's loosey goosey.
Hold on. So, okay.
Well, hold on. One interjection. I will caveat mine that like the count needs to be like over like 6.
What do you mean?
Can't, like you can't fucking like if it's a 6-pack of something, like you got to buy the 6-pack.
Wait, you said
you wanted or a 4-pack of something, you got to buy the 4-pack.
Oh, so this is where government. This is where government fails the people, Alan. This is where government fails the people.
I'm not saying who enforces this, but
right.
I'm not even saying it needs to be a rule. I'm just saying like I could understand being like, oh, break me up them that 2-pack. You're like, motherfucker, just buy 2.
So if you can buy something in 4 or 6s, you have to buy them. You can't buy them loose.
Or we could say 4s, or we could just strike it from the record. It doesn't need to happen.
Doesn't matter, man.
Let's just go full bore. Sorry.
I mean, okay, you can't chaos. You can't open a container of Oreos and start selling them by singles, right?
Oh, I think yes, 100%. I mean, if you just want Oreo, and he's like, and the bodega owner has like, let me break down the weight to package ratio here. There's 36 in here. I'll give you 1 Oreo, 75 cents. Like, that's a deal.
So we can differentiate between dry goods and canned goods, right? You can't break open a can of black beans and say, yeah, I need a serving. This has 3 servings. I need a serving.
I don't see if the bodega owner is willing to work with you. I say that yes. Look, I'm even going as far as this. How many times have you gotten a cut and you're like, fuck, this thing's bad. I don't want to get infected. I'm only going to use like 1 dab of Neosporin. Hey, how much to put some antibacterial stuff on this cut of mine real quick? Say 58 cents. All right, cool. And then he just squeezes a little, he cracks open the tube for you, leaves it behind the counter. Next customer that needs a wound cleaned comes in, ready to go. Got some ointment for you.
I think we're just used to buying, because now that I think about it, like in other countries, not necessarily like England or something, but like fucking a lot of other countries, you buy like food as like per meal or for the day. You get what I'm saying? Like, so you're not like most of the, I get in essence, that is just everything Loosie. You're just buying like 2 chicken breasts. You know what I mean? Instead of like a pack like us, and then we throw it in the freezer or whatever. You know what I mean? Fucking shit like that. So maybe we're just fucking up. Maybe I just had an epiphany.
Yeah, maybe this is just an American problem where we're so used to buying in bulk.
Yeah.
Because that's what they taught us. That was the only economy tip they gave us back in school was like, save money and buy in bulk. And that's it. That's all we got. And so we're so brainwashed by it, we couldn't even fathom that you can only go buy what you need at the moment.
Yeah. So as the consumer, I can choose not to be cost effective and buy in much less than bulk. I don't know. I do have what's the FDA's argument to this? We can't regulate that type of stuff. Once it's opened, it's deregulated. Therefore, you're kind of bypassing certain processes that we have in place for the safety of the consumer.
FDA, it's probably just like local health department code. Like,
something
because
like
then precisely like what you said, like, you're opening fucking Oreos. Whose grubby mitts are reaching in them Oreos? Is somebody using a glove? Are they washing their hands? Like, have they taken a food safety course? You know what I mean? Like, some stupid shit like that. Fucking, yeah.
I'm assuming...
So I think that's the major problem with it. But bodegas don't care. They have cats near their food. So,
yeah.
And it's cool. Everybody loves them.
The Oreos are within less than a stone's throw of the litter box. I will say, knowing someone who lives in the Upper West Side, he has said that Loosie cigarettes are if they do exist anywhere on Manhattan or any of the other boroughs, it's pretty hidden because he used to routinely ask and like, sorry, no, we don't do it anymore. He did say like as of a couple of years ago, there was one way out of his way. So if he happened to be around there, perhaps, but it's this idea that they continue to do it. A lot of people do. Remember that guy? There was a Derek something or other. He got choked out.
Yeah, that was a big deal, and that's actually like for selling loose cigarettes. Jesus Christ, man, come on! Like I'm sure he wasn't carding people and all that nonsense, but good Lord, here's the problem: is when you. This is why this makes sense. I have no eggs have their own protective fucking shell on them. You know what I mean? Like I have no problem. It's actually odd, in my opinion, after reading this story, that we haven't sold that supermarkets or any other place haven't just don't have a big basket o' eggs. Just like how many you need? It's 25 cents an egg, or right now, unfortunately, $12 a dozen. Like
you can buy them singles at most like farmers markets, or by they'll do them in fours. They'll cut them in half. So you can do that, and some of them are specialty eggs. There are duck eggs and quail eggs that you can get, one for X amount, three for X amount. I guess the question here is, is there some sort of legal loophole towards just taking them out of the carton? Because I know the places I go to, I can only buy them 12, 18, and 24. I usually buy them in 18 because I'm an egg consumer, and the prices as of late, and rightfully so, because there is a pandemic? At least that's what I'm being told amongst that certain chickens that are hatching these fuckers. But I mean, am I foeing bodegas for selling loose eggs? No, God, it's kind of a little thread of Americana that I enjoy. It kind of makes my plumes bloom just for the sake of bodega owners just bypassing the law. I don't know why. It just makes me feel good. I always liked the idea of loose cigarettes, man. I always thought that was fucking phenomenal. Now you can buy single beers. I mean, I bought this one as a solo. 24 ounce.
Yeah, but it's 24 ounce.
That's
like they make exceptions.
Talking like a single fucking 12-ounce can or 12-ounce bottle or 16-ounce bottle.
Yeah. I mean, I can name more than one, and by more than one, I mean thousands of occasions. If I had been bypassing the liquor store, I'd be like, God, a beer would be good right now. One natty light. Ugh. 1 8-ounce Presidente. Whew.
Yeah, fresh out of like a 37-degree cooler, like boom, yes sir, give that to me. There was a liquor store I went to down in Delaware, and the Indian owned, and they did not buy 6-packs from the factory. They would buy 12, 24, and they would take their glass bottles, and they had their own like little egg crate toppers for them, and then they would put a big ass rubber band around them, and then clang, 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 all the way up to the fucking counter. And that's how you bought your 6-pack. And it was cheaper than a regular 6-pack because they'd already gotten the discount from the 12 or 24 pack they took it out of. That's good economics for everybody. I'm saving a buck. They're making a buck. Everyone wins. Look, the raw milk thing. By the way, Pennsylvania went red because they fucking pissed off the Amish. The Amish just wanted to sell their milk straight from the teat. And then Uncle Sam got involved, and the Amish were like, settle up, boys. We're voting this year. People were driving the Amish. Literally, there were episodes of people.
Let's go vote. Yeah.
There were caravans.
They were breezing past the Mennonites on rollerblades now. Get out of the way, idiot.
There were caravans, like people. If the Amish were notorious this past election for if you take me, I'll vote. Like they didn't want to saddle up the horse or fucking get the cart all buggied up. But if somebody wanted to come by in a Econo van and fucking drag them down to the polling place, they were more than willing to go in and vote for their raw milk. And this is the kind of shit that happens when you fucking put too many stamps on too many eggs. Like when I get my little Eggland's Best and they got their little EG on top of them, like, did we need to do that, boys? Because I know you're charging me for that ink and that stamper.
Yeah. You can take a dump in a box, market guaranteed. I can do that for you. Got spare time. Now, do you think that there's some merit to the idea of the powers that be just turning a blind eye to what's happening with Loosie eggs. Like, look, okay, people are quote unquote starving, perhaps. We got to let them do this for a little bit. We have to let people live. People have to get 3 eggs at a time. It's just got to happen. It's no big deal. Once the egg crisis gets to a halt and gets figured out, then maybe we'll start governing it. Until then, okay, bodegas, 2-3 eggs at a time. Buy 3, get the 4th for free. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think there's probably like a symbiotic relationship between NYPD officer, beat officer, and a fucking bodega owner. You know what I mean? Like, there's, that's probably where my man gets his fucking like ham, egg, and cheese in the morning. So like, yeah. I think it's and it's just kind of the culture too. So they just kind of look the other way. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody's getting hurt. Loose cigarettes could be problematic, like Murr alluded to earlier. A little bit different. It's unpackaged. Something could be in it. Something could be on it. You know what I mean? Fucking a couple of eggs. Eggs got some protective barrier. It's fine.
Yeah, but that also, I think, like, if you're a politician and you decide to, like, it's the economy, stupid. So if you're a politician, you start coming down on people who are trying to, like, eat.
Yeah.
You ain't, guess what? Your free pension ain't coming next year because it's over for you. If you want to come down on the side of, like, if you want to come down on the side of Big Egg, good luck to you, sir. That's what I have to say.
I like quail eggs myself, the little guys. Yeah,
but
so
like,
good.
Okay, back in the day, Wes, like you talk about the little Lindy's Market down the road. They would sell fucking like Loosie, other Loosie shit.
So it was the golf station, which is now it's the one that was next to the grist mill. That used to be a gas station for a long, long time. It wasn't even golf when I was a kid. It was just called golf because it was a golf station for like 50 years prior to me moving into downtown Perryville. But yeah, they would, Alan, you'd get a kick out of this. They sold 1 cent loose Sour Patch Kids and Swedish Fish.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, say 30 cents, get you a nice mixed bag. They'd put them in a little like say a non-sealable sandwich baggie for carrying. Yeah. Skateboard around town or walk to the basketball courts, get a game of hoops in, slam 5 of those puppies. Whew, you're back at it. Better than Sunny D. Ever was.
I just think sanitizing everything became normal sometime in the late 90s, and then it's been around that way for the last 20, 25 years, 30 years maybe. And we're just like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean penny candy in a loose bag? You can't do that. Like, why not? We need to get back to it's kind of like a few weeks ago we had the Denmarkians, whatever the fuck they are, doing like the
Danes.
Let kids play with sticks and burn things again. They're like, oh yeah, that was a good time. We had fun. We're still alive. We're more resilient. We mock these kids. Everybody's got to everybody's got to put a glove on to touch anything. Everybody needs to wear a mask on an airplane all of a sudden. You let that shit run wild, man. You create a fucking nation full of pussies. It's time to start. Hey, Bill, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Let me give you 5 cents. Let me give you 5 cents for it. You know what I mean? Like, let's do that. I do think chocolate's a little dangerous. It gets a little. But I think the sentiment's there. We all watch these Gordon Ramsay shows. Gordon Ramsay watch an Indian guy make a cream fucking chowder dish on the back of a trash can lid. Everybody dreams of going to Mumbai all of a sudden. It's all right, man. It's America. I'd say the dirtiest shit in America is still cleaner than most shit in other countries.
How about just one rib? Right? How much for one rib?
Oh, and you know what? Go up to your local bar, like, how much to squirt, like, I don't know, a little soda in the mouth, huh? What do you think? What do you got? Just a little punch.
A little punch from the soda cannon, soda gun.
Dude, I'm friend Loosie. Just put a big ass fucking flyer on the wall. Loose buyers beware. That's it. You're done.
How about this? I was shopping at a supermarket near my house. This place was closed. I didn't even realize they rebranded and reopened new. It used to be a Price Right, RITE, closed down. Now it's a Jumbo Fresh. It's incredible. But I got solicited for 75 cents by a hobo, I
Oh, you
ask.
mean that
'Cause
one shitty one on the other side of like
that's
the
right.
B
Yeah,
now?
yeah. Oh, it's nice. It's clean. It's
Is
lovely.
it nice now?
Yeah.
Nice.
But she asked for 75 cents for a tampon. How about a loose tampon?
It's in the wrapper. What do I care?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit.
Well,
I'm just telling you
they
this
have
happened to me 3 hours
they have
ago.
those fucking machines in like ladies' rooms and shit. Yeah. Like the
Right,
tampon
yeah.
machines.
Think about like what you could get
It's like
Lucy
the equivalent
as a
of
man
a
at a strip
man's
club.
like. Yeah, well, it's like the equivalent of like a men's like Spanish fly fucking machine from back in the 70s. You know what I mean? Same. You know.
Let me get one spray of Stetson on the neck.
Exactly. Dude, they still have that shit at the one of the movie theaters we go to. They got like a quarter machine on the wall, and yeah, you can get like a single like. You might get 2 spritzes out of it, but yeah, it comes right out of the thing. They got like a single mint that comes out, and it's in a wrapper. You know, like why not? It's like. They've regulated certain industries to be able to provide the Loosie. Why can't the bodega owner himself provide the Loosie?
They had like 2 sprays of Banaka.
Oh yeah,
just fucking fresh in your breath.
Then you pull a fucking Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber.
I am the youngest one here, and I think I dated all of us with that reference.
Yeah, Banaka, that shit was intense.
It was like spearmint firewater.
I think there might have even been like a rule, like, dude, listen, if you're driving home from a party, do not spray Banaka in your mouth if the cop pulls you over, because you were gonna blow like a fucking like 0.7,
like a minty booze cloud.
Have you been drinking? No. Well, not 0.7. Not that much.
I feel like the people at Banaka did not get the memo that it was supposed to freshen your breath and not like sanitize your mouth. They were just like, yeah, this is fine. It's just Lysol and fucking spearmint. Here you go.
Yeah. I have not fire breathers just use Banaka. Just guzzle that.
So.
I bet you could. I haven't. It's weird. It's weird with certain brands that like all of a sudden you
just go away.
You just never heard of them again. Like Banaka was like everybody had that little like marker sized can in their fucking pocket or in their bag or whatever, and then all of a sudden gone. It really makes me wonder if there was like some like.
I'm looking at the prices. Secret. No wonder you can get or should get Loosie Banaka sprays. Amazon. This is it's a peppermint. I can't read the fluid ounces on it. It says 150 sprays. $55.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's got to be some vintage Banaka.
Yeah, that better be in that's got to be in like a heavy like aluminum can, except it's only this big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that can't be like made yesterday or anything. That's got to be somebody that opened up like a shipping container and was like, "Oh boys, we hit gold here."
There's another one. There's another one. 300 sprays for $20. This is Fast Blast. Different. It's different. It is peppermint, but a slightly different model, I think.
Well, by the way, I was going through a junk drawer in my room. I know this is changing subjects minorly here, but I found the original iPhone, like the original, like the iPhone. I was like, oh, wow, that's where I put this thing. Like, how long until that thing's like really valuable?
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
The first iPhone,
iPhone
like
1.
iPhone 1.
I don't know. Keep holding on to that, though.
Yeah, I was thinking about, like, I think I've crossed the barrier of, like, don't trade that in. I feel like that's, like, if I can hold on to that for another 10, 20 years, like, that's, I don't know, maybe get 1,000 for it, you think? Just some nerd collector? Like, everybody else broke their screens or traded them in?
First generation. It's an iPhone or an iPod?
Yeah, iPhone.
I had in 2008 had a Zune music player. You remember those? It was the Microsoft ones.
Fucking Zunes.
It was about 5,000 songs, 30 minutes.
By the way, it came with what's that? I'm like a bird, I want to fly away.
Yeah.
That was the
I don't
stock,
know.
stock music on it. That was the.
All right,
Nelly
all right.
Furtada.
So is it? Do you hold on? Questions? Do you have a box, or is it just a phone?
Just a phone.
Okay. Does it work? Do you know?
Last time I plugged it in not a long time ago, but it worked.
Look up Loosie iPhone.
Yeah, I am kind of. Do you also happen to know like how much memory it had? Like 4 gigabytes or 8?
It's probably the lowest, probably 8.
Okay.
Like Alan's like it's like Chumley at the fucking pawn shop right now.
Now I'm just interested. See, like I think it's tough because like there's a wide range of things. I see some for a couple $100. I see like one for like $2,000. So I think we'd have to do a little bit more research. But I think at the moment you could probably get some money for it. Maybe not exactly what you're shooting for.
$60 for that fucking thing, you should be thrilled.
I agree.
Absolutely. You could you go out and buy a Loosie dinner for your family. One hush puppy, one jalapeno popper, one mozzarella stick, one steak. God, you're fucking amazing.
One jalapeno popper.
It's probably the recommended size of a jalapeno popper at the end of the day. Probably doing yourself a favor there. Yeah, no, but that iPhone, man, it was designed well. I didn't even have a case on that thing. There's no scratches in it. Looks good, dude.
Yeah, that's back when you could still fix them.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, let's not do that anymore. We just make them buy one every year.
But don't do any make all the storage cloud. Make sure that we have to update it every few years, cloud. You know.
Then I actually just watched something about Steve Jobs. He was actually designing the iPad when he was like, fuck, we should just turn this thing into a phone. And then the iPad came out like 2 years later. Yeah, because he was just like, he saw what it was doing, and he was just like, they were getting ready to start building a phone, and he was just like, that thing, why don't we just make calls too and make it smaller? And they're like, whatever you say, boss. And here we are, change the fucking world for fucking ever, better or worse. But that is your friend or foe, and the Loosies have it. Well done, friends.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't read I was looking at a Reddit thing from Banaka, and it said, funny story, actually, I can't find it. It's on the preview in the Google search. Funny story, I actually sprayed mace in my mouth as a kid because I thought it was Banaka. My uncle had it on his keychain.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Mace.
Should have listened to Mace after. You should have listened to Mace and his lyrics. He just told you, don't spray me in your mouth. All right, Murrow. It's Friday, and I think you got some facts from old Ripley's Time Warp, don't you?
You are correct, sir. It's officially time for your Ripley's. Believe it or not, time, warp 2. Brought to you, of course, by our good friend, the Cuckster. The Cuckster officially on the TikTok now, and officially has the official name of both his TikTok and his IG handle. You can find the Cuckster on Instagram at Cuckster for Life. That's Cuckster for Life on Instagram, and now officially Cuckster for Life on TikTok as well. So the Chinese don't have to go rummaging around trying to find that #1 on their keyboard. It's just the Cuckster all around. Branding done well, and well done, Wesley. Anything the Cuckster up to this week?
Cuckster has been on a little bit of a hiatus after the Super Bowl. Not too sure. He's rummaging around the hotbeds, the steel belt towns of Ohio and Pennsylvania somewhere. He'll turn up here in the next week or two. Don't you worry. But I think I have a feeling, I have a hunch. I've been told by a little bird that mustache is going to be beautiful.
Oh, very good. All right, so check out the Cuckster's new look on both Instagram and TikTok. But let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know John Wilkins was the first known person to propose the idea of space travel and experimented with making flying machines in the 1650s, back when reflecting telescopes didn't even exist? I feel like that's kind of cheesy. Like, was he the first guy to, just be drunk and crazy on the sidewalk at a fucking local tavern? Like, I don't fly up there. Like, back in the day.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. Like back in the day, they give a lot of people credit for shit that everybody thought about. Just like one guy wrote it down or told enough friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. After a couple Loosie beers, he was at the outside having a Loosie cigarette.
Loosie eggs.
And was like, you know what would be fun? We could get outside of that right there. Just get up with them stars. See what them stars are all about.
Get up there and look down that ice wall. See this flat Earth for what it is.
Ice wall.
No, but I will give him some credit. He did have some skin in the game. He did experiment with making flying machines, which means you're a little committed. And which means that's probably why people remember his insanity, is because old Johnny Boy didn't just talk about going up there. He fucking tried. Newsflash, they all failed, by the way.
Took 300 years of evolution. Don't worry.
Did you know? Sorry, you got something?
No, you're fine. Go. No. Go ahead.
Did you know the first Army horse-driven ambulance debuted the same year as the guillotine? 1792.
My hunch is they probably took a couple just straight to the guillotine. Like, sorry, man, we can't help you. You're fucked.
Well, you know what? It is kind of interesting that 1792 was the first year they were like, maybe we might be able to help this guy. Like, previous to that, it was just like, sorry, Bill, you're in this field and this is pretty much where you're going to stay.
Yeah,
so
you're going to have to eat this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to have to eat you. And by that, I mean the earth.
You're going to have to eat this death. Sorry about that.
Well, Bill, how your crawling skills these days? Because you're going to need them.
Jesus.
Right. Yeah. I should think of it. So you say the same year the guillotine was introduced?
Yeah.
So what, before that, they were just a straight up man in an axe, huh?
Right?
You had to
guess
think about either beheadings or, well, amputations.
Yeah, because
were you using guillotines for amputations? I'm sure someone was.
What do you mean? Like,
hey, your hand's rotting off. You're gangrenous. Rather than me with this axe, let's just use the old guillotine.
No, I'm pretty sure they went full medieval and were just like, let me get this
bone saw. Not even really. It's more like a regular saw. And that they used on bone, so I guess you could call it that. But
they just put masking tape on it and wrote bone on it. Yep, this is the specific.
This is the one.
We don't use this on trees. I tell you that.
Where's the wide tooth saw? We're going through femur today, boys.
Yeah.
Is this gonna hurt?
No, because there's a word for this isn't invented yet.
Yeah. They had a specific person to take the guy's belt off and jam it in his mouth, have him bite on it. Yeah.
You would bite on you would bite on what is it? What do they call that? A billet?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a wooden dowel. They'd put that shit in your mouth. Some guy would fucking hold it in there for you. And then they would fucking hit you with some whiskey, dump some down your throat, dump some on the leg, and just start sawing away. We don't realize, and we're arguing about Loosie fucking eggs.
Well, I think we all agreed, honestly, on Loosie eggs.
True.
For being honest.
Yeah, amputations are done a little bit better. But you wonder if a finger got amputated. You know, someone holding the old wooden. What'd you call it?
What a billet? Is that what I called it?
The billet holder got we got a digit in there.
Oh yeah. But it's funny that you mentioned. I was gonna mock you for a second, and then I realized that you were actually onto something. Like, I don't know what movie it was, but they were cutting carrots with a mini guillotine. Like, that makes a lot of sense. That you would just some guy's got his mangled arm from like some terrible cannon accident or something. And it's like, here, put your arm in here. Bite down on this, and then you distract them with like a puppet show, and just fucking
puppet show.
Best hits.
I mean, I think you're losing. I don't know here. I'm just guessing, but simple physics probably won't allow that to happen. Like, you're probably doing that amputation inside somewhere. What? At best, you got a 10-foot ceiling. Like, You gotta rig this shit up. It's a big giant piece of wood. It's not exactly like portable. It's not like, if we made one now, you can make it out of like lightweight aluminum. Good to go. Fucking break it down, snap it back together, fucking chop off whatever you want. But back then, I think it was just more cumbersome. Plus, again, back to the height, I think you need to have it outside because it needs to be higher because the momentum of the blade needs to reach a certain speed to cut off human limb or neck. Sure. Very fibrous. It's muscular. There's bone. Gotta get through that. Need a lot of momentum.
But we can say that coincidentally, a would-be amputee could have been in proximity of a guillotine. Yeah,
I guess so. Maybe. But I don't know if we kept the guillotines near the medical tents.
Yeah, but I feel like back in the day, I feel like, our boys just raised a guillotine. I feel like that'd be a fun town event. Like, Billy's gonna get his.
Well, it was a fun town event, but it was for doing to rich people and criminals.
Only for rich people in their heads.
Yeah.
Witches. Actually, no, they just got chucked into rivers.
Yeah, they were a lot of drownings there.
But again, I mean, invention, necessity is the mother of all invention. I mean, you could just, you don't need a lot. Like, you just need, maybe, the side of it, you've got your, I don't know, your doctor's office, and just on, the side of the building, there's just, a slot where the blade goes. And when you need to amputate, you just put it in the slot, you reel it up like it's a flag on a pole, and wear a flagpole with a thing on the side. Like, you're covering a lot of bases if you want. I don't know. It just feels like Wes is onto something, where rather than using a bone saw that takes 15 minutes to cut through human fucking bone, they could just use 15 seconds of ingenuity.
Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, that's absolutely right. They should, but I don't know. We're talking about primitive times here, man. We
weren't that smart back then.
We had you're lucky you had the invention of the guillotine and the wherewithal to cut off limbs at that point. That's where we were in human history. You know what I mean? Right. We had just learned, we were like, oh, fuck. It's all full of mud and dirt and stuff. You know what we should do? We should cut it off. Because if we don't, he's going to definitely die. We just figured that shit out maybe a decade before.
You're not wrong. I mean,
give us a break.
Washington died because they drained too much of his blood to let the demons out.
Let the vapors out. Yeah. Fucking yeah. That's the time periods we're dealing with here, man.
Now, his blood's sour. We need to get some out of him.
Did Washington have more good years? He was relatively old for the time, right?
I think he was in his 60s, and and he caught a cold from riding horses outside and shit, and they were like, "Oh, you got the old George, you caught the cold." Like, I think he came down with pneumonia.
He was 67.
67. There you go.
Hey, I mean, I'm not suggesting that if he had three more years on his old ticker, that was 3 years worth saving. Christ, if you tell me that, I tell you to go fuck yourself. But then again, I wasn't around in that time. I'm just trying to see whether or not it was one of those things where that guy was, bedridden, and if they hadn't have done that, it would have been 6 months, 8 months.
No, it basically, from what I understand, he basically died in a bed with leeches and some guy fucking strategically nicking arteries all day. All because he had I think he had the flu. It was it was either severe cold or the flu, and they were like, all right, we gotta get the bad blood out so that we can start developing, your body can start producing good blood. And they just they led him too far, and then he just fucking, the greatest American of all time, died in a pool of his own fucking juices.
Well, speaking of juices, apparently he had strep throat.
No, again, if you're full of blood, you can probably.
The treatment did not suit.
If you're not too fine short, you might be all right.
Yeah, strep is pretty nasty though. So sorry, but go ahead.
Did you know we had carbonated water before we had flushing toilets? Carbonated water in 1767, and the flushing toilet not until 1775.
Priorities were all fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I guess I say that. Then again, I'm not a plumber, so I have played a lot of Mario, though.
How'd we do it?
Honestly,
How did they do?
I watched this Modern Marvels on plumbing, and the greatest innovation in plumbing is a U-shaped tube at the bottom. That's it. It stops the gases from getting back in, and because just enough water fills up inside that little U shape under the toilet.
Yeah.
So it's just all water pressure. When you hit the button, the force of like the 2 gallons of water pushes everything back out and replenishes, and then when the water starts to equalize, boop, it's trapped in that little U shape at the bottom of your fucking toilet. That's it. Back in the day, they had flushable toilets, but like the sewer gas would come back up. So like they were kind of like
that sewer gas in you. Gotta get that blood out of you now.
Yeah. So but that's why they were like, well, why the fuck? I don't want the gas in the house, so I'll just take the outhouse out back and we'll just shit in that thing. Why would I bring the smell of shit inside? And then somebody was like, well, a little bit of water and this little U-shaped thing. So if your house does ever start smelling because you have a bathroom that you don't use a lot, just dump some water down the drain, and that usually fixes the problem. I had that happen.
Ooh. See, a good joke was we would turn the water off and flush the toilet a few times, and then just take a dump in the toilet and close the lid. That was always a hoot.
Hoot humor.
This is actually a good one. Living at that first house I lived at, Federal Hill, with my brother Dewey Love and Yanko. Yanko's toilet had a crack in it, and rather than he'd rather pay for it and fix it himself and do it right rather than hit up our shitty ass dumb fucking landlord who we could do an entire podcast on this clown. But I said something about like replacing the toilet. It's like, yeah, you've never replaced a toilet before? It's like, no, never. And here I am, 17 years later, I still never have. I get it. They come in one section. It seemed so weird to me. It seemed so foreign to me, and so not out of my skill set, but just, I don't know, fucking up a toilet installation seems like it's not like patching drywall.
It is harrowing in your mind, but at the end of the day, it really is just. Yeah. It's just don't you get it's literally like a wax ring. It's all about 2 dudes steadily coming straight down. As long as you're lined up, you're a toilet installing expert. That's it.
Yeah, and even doing that with him, it was his bathroom, and that was connected to it, and I just felt as though if this goes wrong, something's gonna get fucked up. You're gonna have poop all over your floor, or you're gonna be using my bathroom. That's way worse than anything could go wrong. Fuck this.
Yeah, fear usually stops people from doing all this stuff. I replace everything in this fucking house. I've replaced, dude, electricity is the one where you really, I don't worry about the toilet because water damage, it's negligible. But man, you get yourself a nice little jolt from Uncle Electricity, and you can change your life, boy.
Yeah, this is another good one. I was working with Mike Day's dad, who did his bread and butter was house framing, but he also did basically kind of general carpentry. And he sent me and his son Mike Day, God rest his soul, off to another thing to do some roofing on a house that they had mostly completed. And his dad came back. He called him and said, "Hey, we need," and I don't remember what we needed. It was either a tool or more material. And they were about 15 minutes away, and he drove over. And he had dropped us off 2 hours before that and then screamed at us about not getting enough done. And then he left. And about 20 minutes later, I said something to the tune of like, "Hey, like, shouldn't we fucking pick the pace up? Your old man who's paying me just said we weren't doing enough." He's like, "Wes, think about it like this. You're 21. I'm 21. It's just you and me, 2 relatively unskilled carpenters, building someone's future house. A family is going to live here. Babies are going to be raised here." And I was like, God, that's harrowing. I don't like thinking about that. I'm going to have nightmares about this. I don't even want to think about it anymore. I'd rather be a plumber.
We're not licensed.
Yeah, no, God, Jesus.
Things could go wrong. We should take our time.
God, the man should get snipped now. Fuck. Don't raise kids here.
Did you know Spain ruled parts of North America for longer than the United States has been an independent country? They ruled here for 406 years versus our. What are we at? Are we at? Are we at?
We're 250 next year.
Next year,
250 from the Declaration. Then you're gonna have to go back. I mean, when do you draw the line as America? It was the Articles of Confederation.
Well, 1789 is when we got the Constitution. So, but either way, we're splitting hairs here. So 250, this 250 versus 400. So, what you got? What you doing now, Spain? Huh? What you doing now? Huh? Taking siestas? Huh? Is that what you're doing?
I wonder if the same is comparable if the same time length is comparable for French rule in Canada.
What do you mean?
Like, did the French rule areas of Canada longer than Canada's been independent?
Maybe.
I mean,
good question.
I mean, you have to define independence too, because technically King Charles is the overlord of Canada. Still technically a British zone under the Empire. But they're an independent country.
Forget I asked.
And soon to be the 51st state. Am I right, boys? You know what I'm saying?
It's more America. Greenland, Canada, all of them.
And finally, did you know when the country of Iceland was first settled, there were still wild lions in Europe?
Hold on. Wild lions in Europe. What are they? Yeah. These ones? Did they bring them over and just set them loose?
No, the people are the lions. Like the
lions aren't native to Europe.
Apparently, you're wrong, Alan. We're gonna have to get some Wikipedia research on the wild lions in Europe. I mean, it's a big landmass. I mean, they are.
I get that, but I thought that
what was the fact again?
The fact was that the wild lions were still roaming when Iceland was first settled.
Wild lions in Europe.
Yes.
Okay, so wild lions in Europe. The last wild lions in Europe, known as European cave lion, went extinct around 13,000 years ago.
Oh, so is this like mountain lion, like a mountain lion cousin?
I don't know. It shows me a picture of a fucking lion.
I don't know, bro.
This isn't like the king of the jungle, like Mustafa, fucking with the big mane and shit rolling around Rome.
Let's look at what, like, this is probably, this apparently.
That's him. That's Mustafa, all right. Jesus. Yeah, that's a proud bastard. He's even got the undercarriage, too.
Yes, he does. It's either his tail or he's blessed. That's what I can say.
Well, God, look at the set on that bastard.
Yeah, but like, you think about this too. Like, here the county seat in old Cecil County, Maryland, is Elkton, and it wasn't named because there were 0 elks here. I mean, are there any elks even in the? Where do you get an elk? How far north you got to go for an elk now?
I don't know. Probably pretty far.
PA, you can find elk.
You can find an elk in.
No, fuck you can't.
What part of Pennsylvania you running into a wild elk?
Yeah, nowhere is the answer to that question.
I think I saw one in Wilkes-Barre when I was 10. Pretty sure. I don't know.
At the Wilkes-Barre
I also thought I saw Hulk Hogan in the Happy Grace Burger King once. I think it was just a big ripped dude with a bandana.
Oh, I guess like there are areas in Pennsylvania you can probably find some elk, but it's very limited these days.
All right. So this cave lion of Europe, is this like Savannah-esque, or is this more? Because the way I'm picturing this is more like something you'd see in Western Maryland, like a mountain lion.
I mean, the one picture I saw looked like a lady lion.
Female.
It's like it's like a little. Shit. Not this. Doesn't have the big majestic mane.
They've gone extinct for a couple hundred years, and that makes sense.
Yeah, so they went extinct. I think it said like 15,000 years ago. When, right? Or what did I say? Or 13,000 years ago. When was Iceland formed? I think Iceland was formed way fucking before that.
Here's
Either
another
way.
fun fact. Did you know Greenland is further east, north, south, and west of Iceland?
Mm.
Yeah, there's certain extensions that go past it. The real question would be west. That's the one when I heard that, I was like, no. I mean, I could see the southern tip is more southern, north and east, yeah, but west, no way. Well, Iceland's further west, closer to Europe than Greenland is, and no, there's parts that pinch out a little further.
Well, thinking of pinching out, that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
All right. Alan, we are still catching up on the Phoenix and genus of the European lion. Tonight on Before You Go, Middle Class Holes Badass of the month for the month of February. Texas game warden busts man for hunting in a porta potty converted into a deer blind. That's right, folks. The man was caught returning to his makeshift blind on the first day of deer season. Texas game warden said he was charged and removed. He was removed from the stand and removed from the stand-in property. So at the beginning of the deer season, Texas game warden caught a man who was hunting in a piece of property without the landowner's consent. Game wardens have been investigating since the previous deer season, but were unable to catch the man after they found the unusual blind he made out of a converted porta potty. So he sets up a porta potty as a, cuts a little hole out, old Elmer Fudd-esque. If only Elmer Fudd had been so smart to convert a porta potty into a rabbit stand. First day of deer season comes out, the game warden sets a trap, and by set a trap, I mean they just left the porta potty there, and the dumbass comes back in there. But this is somewhat badass because I think it's just in my opinion, the bravado of a Texas hunter who's like, yep, man, first day, I'm gonna go back in that I'm gonna go in that shitter, and I'm gonna take a dump and kill me something and take that puppy back.
I just feel like this guy's got a future in designing porta potty deer blinds. Why is this not just like commonplace? Well, how do you hunt? Well, I drag the porta potty out there and I just pants down, sit and stare out the hole like all day. You can sit. It's like, and by the way, probably more accurate. Just like me when I play video games on my phone or Williams Switch and I'm sitting on the shitter, I don't have to worry about any bodily function getting in the way of any concentration level I have. That guy's a fucking marksman.
I guess I wonder what's the difference between that and a stand? Or is it the fact that it was private property?
I think it's just the private property part.
Private property.
So what's a fucking... Okay, is there nothing illegal about a porta potty on private property being in a random middle part of the woods?
The way you said that is you expect it to be illegal for some reason.
Do you have an unsanctioned unsanctioned
all right, so think about it this way.
Woods?
Say you got a big ass plot of land that you can hunt on and you and your buddies hunt on, and you stick a porta potty out in the range because you don't feel like going all the way back if you got to fucking, let loose. You piss just about anywhere, but fucking what if you got the jerky squirts? You know what I mean? You've been up in that tree stand for a minute, just munching on fucking Slim Jims.
Gotcha.
Probably drinking fucking Mossy Oak Bush Lights, because duh. And fucking, you gotta squirt one out. You'd rather go to your field porta potty that you've had Hall's Honey Pots fucking bring in. Local plug, Halls. Fucking, we should send this to them. And there you go. I think that's logic, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. That defeats what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I just think that people are, I don't know, man. You would think that hunters would be. It's weird that when you read all these old timey tales about the poacher was always like the villain in all your old English literature, right? It feels like it's still the same thing. People are hunting, animals aren't contained. Thankfully I have woods in my backyard. I could technically go hunt back there if I wanted to. I don't want to, but somebody that has a plot of land or lives in a fucking a duplex or something like that. They're going to have to ask somebody permission. I don't know that you necessarily need to ask permission to hunt for food.
Yeah. There's a good. You guys should look this up. And I watched this. It's probably across two or three. I think the guy has probably since made more since it got so much traction in views. But he made an initial YouTube video that's probably 20 minutes long about a neighbor, and mind you, it's Vermont. It's vast land. So the neighbor is 3 miles down the road. And it's legal if you're hunting bear, if your dog tracks the bear, it doesn't matter where they track. It can go into your property. And hit this guy who's not native to Vermont found that to be ridiculous. Especially, he had mentioned a couple. He had mentioned a couple reasons, but first and foremost, it was because it's private property. If you're then chasing the bear, hauling ass through my fucking property, then that's unethical. And it turned into a very civil conversation, but then he posted on YouTube and this guy got pissed off, yada, yada, yada. But it was interesting. I don't know enough about Vermont law. I don't know anything about tracking bears, especially with dogs and hounds. So
I don't know anything about anything you just mentioned, Wes. So
nothing.
Sounds like
actually one of my better traits about growing up is making note of the fact that, like, hey, as I'm telling you this, I know dick about it.
Well,
first of all, I know nothing about hunting or Vermont law or hunting bears or dogs tracking bears or property law.
One of my TikTok binges is like there's this kid and he finds like unique places to fish, and inevitably there's some fucking like some Chad walking down, stomping through the woods. Hey, fuck you doing down here? Oh, hey, mister, I just look like a good fishing spot. I was like, you're goddamn right, it's a good fishing spot. That's why you shouldn't fucking be here. It's like, dude, like,
yeah.
I see fucking fish.
Seen the ones where they say this is private property, but the loophole is the water isn't, and they've walked up the stream, actually physically walked up the stream, and they entered where it wasn't private property, and so therefore I'm not on private property. And of course that drives these property owners insane. They're like, well, I'll call the fucking police. I'll get to the fucking bottom of this motherfucker. And those are always interesting. We've talked about magnet fishing. That sometimes just, like, oh, you need a license to fish. I'm not fishing fish. What are you doing? I'm magnet fishing. Yep, fishing's in the name.
In the name. Nope, you just buried yourself, sir.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens to this man in the game warden in Texas. I don't know. Could be futile. Alan, tell all the would-be porta-pot stander-uppers where you can find the middle-class holes.
Well, Hall's Honeypots, I would assume, is at hallshoneypots.com. So check them out, and maybe they'll give us a fucking porta potty to stick somewhere.
They do smell good, man. I don't know what they put in there, but they smell good.
Damn, you see? Fucking somebody, you better cut this up, is all I'm saying. But if you don't want a Hall's Honeypot, you can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and fucking anything else. I don't know. What's new? Anything Truth Social? Do we have a Truth Social?
No, we don't have a Truth Social.
I feel like we probably should.
We have an X and we have a Gmail account. Tickle our tummies.
It's a Twitter, goddammit.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is funny.
I'm never not calling it Twitter.
The consultant told us we're supposed to get a little more serious about this part. I was like, I don't know.
What do you mean? We do it every time. What is it? Yeah. How much more serious do you want, sir?
You're right.
Fair enough.
Was it a sir? Is it a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now that I think about it, he said do it on the end of your show. We're going to end our show with a classic tribute, only the way the middle class holes can. A very rest in peace. I don't want to say melancholy trails because Tony Kornheiser and PTI stole that, but it's God, it's so good. Rest in peace. 95-year-old actor Gene Hackman. He made his bones long before I was watching cinema, but I will always remember him as the angry captain. What's that?
He's making some bones now too.
He's making. Yeah, well, that's a good point. But I will always remember him as the angry captain, standing as the friend or foe from Denzel Washington in Crimson Tide, and then I will always remember him as the funny, witty, on his deathbed bastard Royal Tenenbaum in Wes Anderson's classic, The Royal Tenenbaums, a fucking great movie. But any of your words about the late great Gene Hackman, who wasn't on anybody's list. I had to double check that.
You had him 2 years ago then. You definitely named him.
Yeah, I did. I think our rule was you can't do 2 years in a row, but I thought about, okay, well, I skipped a year. Maybe
No, I think, I mean, you covered most of it. Royal Tannenbaum is probably one of my favorite characters probably ever. And then I always remember fucking a very obscure movie and an obscure character in an obscure movie. Fucking I think his name was Pigman in fucking PCU. He was watching fucking TV because his theory was that there was at any time of day there was a movie with either Gene Hackman or Michael Caine on television, and so he was watching TV constantly.
Holy shit!
And he was like, "Oh my god, fucking!" I can't remember. I think might have been Bridge Over the River Kwai. And he was like, "This is my thesis, man," because they're both in the same fucking movie, and he fucking loses his mind. And I just always remember that as the Hackman fucking line. So whenever I hear his name, I usually reference it.
That's an A+ pool, man. So
yeah, well done, sir.
PCU's a fucking great movie. Oh, Lord.
It is. It truly is.
So yeah, my Gene Hackman role of the lifetime is Unforgiven. Was it Little Bill? Is that who he played in that?
Yeah.
Little Bill, fucking just great character, great movie. The guy could look. You say rest in peace, but as the day has grown long, have you seen the details of?
Oh no.
Oh, this is potentially a murder.
Carbon monoxide. And it was him, the wife, and the dog, or
apparently the door was open. There was a dog locked in a closet. There were pills spilled on the floor next to her body. A neighbor found them. Apparently they'd been there for a while. If there was carbon monoxide, the person going into the building might have actually suffered some. So there's this Gene Hackman thing. This might be his greatest role.
Jesus. Well, here's and I do want to gloss over that because I don't want to think about it. French Connection, Mississippi Burning, Lex Luthor, and Superman. Maybe one of the greatest sports movies of all time, Hoosiers. Maybe one of the worst sports movies of all time, The Replacements, filmed right here in Baltimore.
No, that's a good bad movie, sir.
Phenomenal.
Behind Enemy Lines. What's that story? Enemy of the State with Will Smith. Let's see here. I didn't realize he was in Get Shorty. Quick and the Dead, Wyatt Earp, Geronimo, The Firm. Let's see here. Loose Cannons. Oh God, with Dan Aykroyd. What a shit movie. Good shitty movie. Target, Eureka, March or Die, The Bridge Too Far, Night Moves. French Connection 2. He was in Young Frankenstein.
Was it A Bridge
God,
Too Far?
What do you have?
Maybe?
What did I say? Did I say something else?
It was a
Bridge
too
Too Far.
further.
Is A Bridge Too Far? That's Kanan. That's Kanan Hackman. That's the movie that Pigman was talking about. Not Bridge Over Kwai.
Well, the very. I will steal Kornheiser's line. The very melancholy trail to you. So that's all we have for this week. Next week we have Alan's Good Bad Movie, Malibu's Most Wanted, one of Jamie Kennedy's finest, if not his only finest.
The star-studded cast.
Tell your friends, tell your family about the middle class homes.
I think I need another cheeseburger.